Okay, so same format. We'll start off the quiz with 10-point questions on direct, and then if we move on with a hint, we go back to 5 points and then 3 points subsequently. So last time we started with Papa. This time we are starting with Ravish. So Ravish, your direct question for 10 points. Here is your first question on the screen. Okay, so let me break this down for you. We're talking about 3 cricketers. One, of course, is Nari Contractor. Second is Virag Awate from Maharashtra in 2012. So basically, in the history of Ranji Trophy, now I'm talking only about Ranji Trophy. In the history of Ranji Trophy, there have been only 3 players who have scored centuries in both innings of a Ranji Trophy match. 2 of them, of course, one is Nari Contractor, one is Virag Awate, who did it recently in 2012. You have to tell me the third name. Very recent. I can only tell you that much about it. It's recent, and you will be aware of the player.
Ajinkya Rahane.
Okay, not Ajinkya Rahane. Papa, your attempt for this. Your attempt.
Give me some hint.
नहीं अभी नहीं मिलेगा. You have to pass on for 10 points, and then I will give Ravish first the hint.
Okay, I think so. I need a pass.
Okay, so going back to Ravish. So Ravish, 5 points now. Question, and this guy recently made his mark. Recently made his mark in the Indian cricket team, in the not per se the regular Indian cricket team, but a World Cup which happened recently. There he made very good name for himself, and that's the guy we are looking for, and he has done it for Delhi. So that's something which can convert this into a 5-pointer. Recent emergence of a player of Delhi cricket team, and of course the Indian team also. And when I say Indian team, it does not mean the regular Indian team only.
मिंकू की देख रहे हैं?
नहीं सोच रहा था.
मिंके?
हाँ.
Yeah, he's thinking over it.
Okay.
I'm not googling.
Huh?
Okay.
I'm not googling.
Okay, Ravish.
I'm not doing. Pass. No idea. No.
Okay, no idea. Papa goes back to you for 5 points.
आवाज कट रही है यार.
Papa, it is audible to Minku. There is some internet connection at your issue at your. And anyways, what is the attempt?
आप आंसर अटेम्प्ट करो.
Hello.
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
किसकी बारी है?
आप ही की है.
अच्छा, मैं पता नहीं यार. KL Rahul है?
No, it is not KL Rahul. KL Rahul is not the answer. Okay, I go back to Ravish for 3 points. Think under 19.
Dhal.
Yeah, you are right. It is Yash Dhul, who recently did it in the Ranji Trophy match for Delhi. So 3 points to you. Thankfully, we have opened the score after a bit of struggle, but I think that will improve now with as the ball goes old. Okay, second direct question for 10 points to Papa. Papa, this is your direct question. I am sharing a list of players with you. So the list goes as Matthew Hayden, Len Hutton, Brian Lara, Jayawardene, Michael Clark, Ben Stokes, Don Bradman, Wasim Akram, Ian Smith, the wicketkeeper from New Zealand, Walter Reed, and Ashton Agar. There is a particular line of record which these people hold. So think carefully. think of all the names who are there, and you have to tell me. And I'm talking about Test cricket. So I'm just giving you a clarification on that. This is about Test cricket. So what record do these people hold? Think of the names clearly and spend some time on understanding what possible record they can make. We have Matthew Hayden at the top. Then we have Len Hutton. Then Lara at number 3. Lara at number 3.
Yes, visible. But Ashton Agar, ये batsman है ना?
He's a bowler otherwise.
He's
a reasonable all-rounder, you can say, but he's more of a bowler.
More of a bowler. Musim Akram bowler. They all have scored centuries in their different, as a different, coming at different time of the inning.
Different time of the inning, can you improve that answer? That is not very clear.
All have scored centuries while playing at different, innings, like 1 down, 2 down, 3 down.
Okay, I'll go to Ravish. In case I don't get a better answer, I'll give you part points because that's partly on the right track. Okay, Ravish, can you improve that answer?
This question is for Test cricket, na?
Yes, only Test.
I think my answer would be that they all have made
a. Which was identified by Papa correctly.
There was.
Yeah.
There was each of them have made a century coming 1 down.
No, that is not right. I go back to Papa. Papa, your original track of batting positions was correct. However, the record you stated was incorrect. So I'm giving you a chance to improve that answer. Think of the batting positions. Think of what they could do at their different batting positions. Just try to improve that answer.
I have told कि ये different, जैसे coming at 5 down batsman.
No, so the correct track is batting positions. Think of that. ऐसा सोचिए कि ये कौन से batting position पे आते थे and उस batting position पे आके
मैं वही कह रहा हूँ. They used to come 5 down. Most of them, our opener maybe.
No, that is incorrect. Matthew Hayden has largely opened forever.
Other players hardly opened. But what I say कि at 5 down, they have scored centuries.
No, that is incorrect. I go back to Ravish for 5 points. Yes, Ravish.
In each of their respective batting position, they have scored a double century.
No, that obviously is also incorrect because Ashton Hager's highest score is about 98. Ian Smith has a highest score of about 173 or something. Okay. Last attempt goes back to Papa for 3 points. Now I'll give you another hint. Think of the scores they would have made at these positions. So it's obviously not double century. It's not a century either because Ashton Agar's highest score is about 97 or 98, if I recall correctly, which happened recently.
नहीं, मैं यही कह रहा हूँ कि I'm saying that it has happened recently. If you have just read कि Jadeja has scored century 5 down as a 5 down batsman and he has broken Kapil Dev's record. And
Yes, however,
don't
that is
know
not
what-
linked to this answer. Anyways, I'll give it. I'll give the answer. I'll give part points to Papa, 5 points for tracking the batting order wala point. Otherwise, the record they hold is disconnect.
तो यार मेरा विच
Yeah, okay.
कट्टी जांदा हाँ चलो आ
No
गया फिर
problem. We are हाँ वापस आ गए. So the
नहीं मेरा
record they
मेरा
hold is that
I अर्चित मेरा पहला जो सवाल है सेंचुरी वाला वो तो मैंने अद्धे नंबर से मिलनगे ना
I'm giving you 5 points for correct batting, something related to batting order or batting
आवाज ही कट
position.
रही है
However,
तो मजा
that
नहीं आ रहा
yeah, then it's a connection issue at your end. Ravish is able to hear proper.
आप एक काम करो, लैपटॉप छोड़ो, मोबाइल पे आ जाओ.
मैं यही करने वाला हूँ
Okay.
मैं
Please do
लैपटॉप
it.
को छोड़ रहा हूँ मैं अभी आ रहा हूँ और मेरी स्क्रीन का जो स्क्रीन छोटी होती है कोई बात नहीं मैं आई विल बी मोर कंफर्टेबल in mobile which is
Yeah,
at
we'll
least
wait for. We will
it's
wait.
not breaking give me a minute half a minute
Okay.
just give me a minute या इसको मैं म्यूट कर दो फिर वो इको शुरू हो जाता है हेलो
Yes, I am able to hear.
मैं लैपटॉप बंद कर दूं
हाँ, पहले आप मोबाइल से चेक कीजिए, मोबाइल से आपको आवाज आ रही है.
should I close the laptop
Yeah, okay.
अब आप मेरी बात सुनो, आप लैपटॉप का जो ऑडियो पूरा बंद कर दो और म्यूट
Speaker
कर दो
बंद कर
अपने
दीजिए.
आप को, म्यूट कर दो
मैंने लैपटॉप का माइक बंद किया था
नहीं पापा, माइक सिर्फ नहीं, स्पीकर भी बंद कर दीजिए. जो राइट साइड में कॉर्नर में नीचे होता है ना स्पीकर का वॉल्यूम, वो बंद कर दीजिए.
एक मिनट
Yeah.
एक मिनट अब ठीक है
हाँ, परफेक्ट.
ना अगर मैं माइक बंद कर दिया
हाँ, अपने मोबाइल से आप ऑडियो रखो, फोटो आती रहे आपकी लैपटॉप से.
ठीक है वो बिगर यस आई एम मोर कंफर्टेबल
It is still
मेरी आवाज
echoing.
इको कर रही है वैसे
आपने वॉल्यूम जीरो नहीं किया है.
जीरो करो
मैंने
वॉल्यूम,
किया बेटे
म्यूट कर दो उसको, बंद कर दो.
मैंने म्यूट ही किया हुआ है यार
No, then it is not possible ना. There is only one source. तो one source पे इको नहीं हो सकता.
और जो लैपटॉप पे जूम है, अब ठीक है.
अभी तो नहीं आ रही ना
अब वो आपने
Okay,
म्यूट
good.
करा है ना, अब ठीक है.
ठीक है ओके थैंक यू
Okay,
आई एम
great.
वेरी
So, okay, we come back to the question. So, 5 points to Papa for identifying the right track of batting positions. However, the correct record is that these people hold the record for the highest scores at respective positions. So, for example, Matthew Hayden holds the record for 380 runs, which is the highest test score as an opener. Brian Lara
Yeah.
holds 400 not out score, which is the highest runs for batting position number 3, and so on. So these people hold the record for the highest scores at their respective positions. So double century could have been correct if the bottom three would have.
Their respective position is irrespective. It is for that innings they would have played.
Yes, no. So what I am saying is that at number 3, for example, at number 3 position, anywhere across any player in the world has not scored more than 400 runs. At number 11, nobody has scored more than 98 runs ever in Test match. So that's the point. Clear. Okay. Yeah.
It was a good question.
Okay. So then we okay. Since Papa got 5 points for it, we go back to Ravish. Ravish, this is your direct question for 10 points. Now listen very carefully and don't jump into the answer directly. There are only 6 venues which have hosted more than 100 ODIs each. Only 6 venues have hosted more than 100 ODIs. Now, if you see, you can keep on guessing the names of all the major grounds, which will not lead to the answer. If you get one incorrect, we will have to pass on to the next player. So tell a name only if you are very sure about that name being in the top 6.
खोलो कोई नहीं उधर के लिए खोला
There are only 6 venues. So basically, I have to answer all the 6 venues.
Ideally, yes. However, if you tell one such name which is not there in the top six, we'll have to pass on the question.
Okay. So number one is MCG.
Okay, and then
Number two is Wankhede.
no, Wankhede is not one of them. So we go back to Papa.
Second is Lords. Hello?
No, that's not Lords. Lords is not part of
Okay.
the
So
top six.
back,
We go back to Ravish.
No,
Yes,
100,
Ravish.
100 ODI. Have 100 ODI not played there?
no.
No.
Okay. Now my chance.
Okay, MCG is the only one which we have got correct. And MCG, let me tell you for your benefit, is at number 4. Okay, you get
Okay.
one correct point for 2 correct points for MCG.
Eden Gardens.
Eden Garden is not correct. We go back to Papa.
Bangalore.
No, I think you have to think a bit wider. And there is one particular ground which used to host, which was popular for ODI cricket in the 80s. Anyways, goes back to
No,
Ravish.
no, no. Please hold now.
Wait for a minute. It goes back to Ravish. Ravish, your chance.
Brabourne Cricket Stadium.
No, in fact, that is not there in the top 10. Goes
Yes.
back to Papa.
Sharjah.
Okay, Sharjah is one of them. You get 2 points for that. Any more attempts from your side? So we have got 2 out of 6, Sharjah and MCG. It's still on, Papa.
Whose chance?
Yeah, one
Whose
more
chance
chance
is-
to you. Yours.
Okay, okay. One more chance. Okay, okay. Okay. West Indies, Pakistan, India. India, England.
So I can give you a hint that if you don't think India, you will be in a better position because India has a large number of grounds. Think of countries which don't have a huge number of grounds and they end up playing one days at mostly the similar kind of venues. So India obviously has a huge number of grounds available for ODI cricket. Hence, no particular ground can host most of the matches.
Port of Spain.
No, that is not correct. Okay, goes back to Ravish.
Centurion.
No, not Centurion. Okay, so one more hint to it is obviously what I said earlier, that think of countries who have only limited number of grounds available to them.
Okay, okay.
India has
Then,
huge number of grounds available. Goes back to Papa for now. So think of countries who have played their life in only some few grounds.
Okay, Abu Dhabi.
No, Abu Dhabi is a recent phenomenon. It always used to be Sharjah earlier. So we've already given you points for Sharjah. Yes, Ravish, goes back to you.
Sydney Cricket Ground.
Sydney Cricket Ground is one of them. 2 more points to you. So, okay. Your chance stays. You can attempt one more. So you've got 3 out of 6. There is SPG, there is MCG, and then there is Sharjah.
Headingley Oval.
No, Headingley is not the right answer. Goes back to Papa. 3 guesses left.
Okay. Okay. That is Old Trafford, Birmingham.
No, not Old Trafford. Old Trafford is ideally Manchester. So anyway, so that's not the correct one. So I'll give you one more hint, Ravish, for 1 point. Think of a country which so Asian country and happens to play most of the cricket in this ground?
Colombo.
Yes, you're right. Premadasa Stadium, Colombo. I'll give you 1 point for that. So we have 2 positions left now. There is SCG, there is MCG, there is Sharjah, there is Colombo, and there are 2 places left.
Yeah.
And I can give you another. So that's also an Asian country left for 1 point.
Chittagong.
No,
Dhaka,
can't give it to
Chittagong.
you. Okay, maybe I'll give you 1 point. It's actually Mirpur in Dhaka, the Shere Bangla Stadium in Dhaka.
Yeah. Same.
Okay, one thing, only one stadium left. Papa, you can guess that.
Karachi.
No, last attempt to Ravish. I'll close it after this.
1 sec. Last will be Christchurch.
Unfortunately, no. So the correct answer is Sharjah, of course, 240. Papa got that. SCG Ravish got for 159 one days. Harare Sports Club was one which I was looking forward to, because think of a country which has played most of the cricket at only 1 or 2 grounds, Bulawayo being the other major ground in Zimbabwe. And then we have MCG with 149 ODIs, Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. Colombo ideally has two places. There is a Premadasa Stadium, there is an SSC Stadium, but the Premadasa has hosted 135. Shere Bangla National Stadium in Dhaka for 113 ODIs. So Minku gets 6 points for guessing 4 stadiums correct, and Papa gets 2 for guessing Sharjah. Okay, so we go back to Papa for direct question of 10 points. So this is your direct question for 10.
What is the score right now?
I'll share the score after 5 questions.
Okay.
So 4th one directly goes to Papa. We switch to tennis. There are only 4 players who have achieved this special feat at Wimbledon. So I'm talking Wimbledon. I'm talking about a special achievement which only these 4 people happen to be achieved. Borg, of course, the legend, Pat Cash, Stephen Edberg, who bloomed up in the late 90s, and of course the legend Roger Federer. So think of one such line of record which only and only is held by these 4 people. Think Wimbledon for sure. So that's how you can proceed on it.
If I say ki all have won the Wimbledon championship, will it serve the purpose? Your answer?
No, it will not, because there are hundreds of other players who have also won Wimbledon. I am talking about a unique achievement which is common to only these 4 people. Djokovic has also won Wimbledon. Pete Sampras has also won Wimbledon.
There are not many, but
this is an exhaustive list. This is an exhaustive list of people.
No doubt, but special feat, yes, you have mentioned special feat, so I have to say what could be the special feat among these.
Yeah, that is what you have to think over. Wimbledon winners are many. There are hundreds of
them. They won this championship when at a very young age.
Okay, I'll give you another chance to improve that answer. You are on the right track. Think of young age, and you're on the right track. Think a bit more on the young age concept. This is Wimbledon, and there is something for young age also.
They also had the junior championship before.
Absolutely correct. Wonderful answer. They are the only 4 players who have won Wimbledon both in junior and senior category. I'm so glad to see you happy, because otherwise it happens rarely after a difficult question.
Can
So
you
full 10
also
points to you.
I
give him the
got 10
next
out of 10.
answer? Can you give him the next? I'd like to pass the next question. Give the number to him. He'll be more happy.
नहीं, what do you
Okay,
mean यार?
great.
अरे पहले तो मेरे पूछा था 3 इस सवाल से पहले कि स्कोर क्या है, and you were leading probably, and now I got 10 points here. Massive 10.
Yeah, of course. With a little support from the quiz master, but okay, that's okay.
But
Chalega.
thank you very much for
I'm sorry, but why is the hint given in the 10 marks question?
So it was not really a hint.
He
I was only
modified-
encouraging.
he modified the question. Minku,
No.
he modified the question.
No. You can't. No one can even ask.
Yeah, okay, I got your point. I
He
did
should be
give a
given
hint.
5 points. 5 points.
नहीं यार,
Acha,
no,
you
भाई,
please. Okay, got it. It
There
is
was
10.
sufficient hint. What do you mean by saying you are on the right track?
Arey, that is to encourage to get the right answer, na?
तेरे को भी तो
I
बोलते हैं
give
यार.
you also. I give you also a lot of such
But
hints.
yes,
Come on,
but
chalo.
then in my hint round, not in the main round.
Okay, got it. You can file a
5
Okay,
points.
let's not go into PIL for that. Okay, chalo. Direct question to Ravish, and I promise you an easy answer for that. Okay.
Ravish, you have point, no doubt, you have a point in it. But let the person, the
Now
master.
that is because you have got 10 points. Let's proceed.
Maybe that's the reason. Okay. Chalo. Anyway,
Okay,
let's
next.
come back. Let's come back to the questions. Please come back to the question. Thank you very much. These are 4 players, of course, you can see on the screen. Okay,
आगे
Ravish.
बात करो, आप मोबाइल पे हो.
Archie, give him hand also.
Okay, fine. I'll do what I have to do. Okay, don't worry.
Carry on.
Okay, Ravish, direct question for you, 10 points. Okay, there have been only 2 India-Australia test matches who have who have seen a sharing of man of the match awards. Okay, so there have been 2 such test matches जिसमें man of the match award जो है वो share हुआ था. One was in 2001, the famous VVS Lakshman series, but not that match. So where Harbhajan and Hayden shared that man of the match award in Chennai. So there was only one other occasion where the man of the match was shared between an India and Australia test. So you have to tell me that test match or maybe those 2 players, of course. So that's what you have to think. Think of strong, memorable India-Australia test matches.
Sachin Tendulkar and Steve Waugh.
Sachin Tendulkar and Steve Waugh is not the right answer. I go back to Papa. Papa, any guesses on this?
If you are saying very important test, I can say it was a tie test at Madras, Chepauk.
I'll give you 5 points, and you have to also tell me the 2 players.
Okay.
If you tell me the 2 players, I'll give you complete 10.
Yeah, one of them was their off spinner of Australia. वो टोपी वाला बॉलिंग करता था जरा. And
the guy who got Maninder Singh LBW in the last over.
Yeah, looks like.
You're talking about Matthews.
Yeah, Matthews.
Okay, and that is not the right answer. I go back to Ravish. Ravish, since the test match has been identified, you have to identify the 2 players now. So the test match is identified correctly. It is a tie test at Chennai or Madras at that time in 1986. So you have to tell me the 2 players who were jointly named the man of the match.
Kapil Dev and Alan Border.
I'll give you 3 points. 5 to Papa for guessing the test match correctly. 3 to you for guessing one of the man of the match correctly. Who is Kapil Dev. And then Alan Border is unfortunately not correct. So Papa, any guesses for the Australian player who was man of the match?
Yes, sorry, I know.
Ruko. It's Papa. I find this extremely surprising that after knowing what this guy did on that ground, you're not able to recall his name.
Okay.
I can give you another. I can give you another hint. If you don't take that, if you don't tell me the answer, I'll give a hint to Ravish after this and give him 2 points.
Yeah,
If
you
he
are going
guesses.
to give me. You are going to give me a hint.
No, hint is over. Hint round will start with Ravish. Any guesses from your side? Final guess. Allen Border is not the answer.
Okay, me or not? I am gone.
I am asking you only.
Acha, okay.
Any guesses for the Australian player? Indian player is obviously Kapil Dev.
Markwa.
No, not Marco. And I guess Marco was not even part of the test match. I think. So Ravish goes back to you. The hint is okay.
No,
You need a hint.
Wait. Don't give me hint. Give me 5 points.
I'll give you 3 points because it's a shared answer. Na? Kapil Dev, you already got 3 points.
Okay, if I try without hint, then my answer is Dean Jones.
You are absolutely right. I was about to give you a hint that this guy was feeling extremely unwell after scoring a double century. He vomited on the ground. He felt extremely dehydrated. And there's a very famous photograph also there that he was almost collapsing on the ground. But somehow he gathered himself up and scored that wonderful double century. Okay, points. Ravish with that 6 points of Kapil Dev and Dean Jones. And 6 points in the venue wala question. So 12 and 3 in the first one. So 15 for you.
अर्चे मुझे मिला इस पर मुझे भी तो मिला थोड़ा इसमें.
I'll give you 5 points because you thought of the tight test.
Yes.
I intentionally kept a tight test question because it is very close to your heart. Okay, so 15 points. 15 points to Ravish and 22 points to Papa for guessing the correct answer on the Wimbledon one, 10 points, 5 points earlier, and in the second question, 5 points now, and then 2 points for guessing the answer correctly. So 22 and 15. So Papa leading the way. Okay, we reverse the order now and go with Ravish for the first for a direct question of 10 points. So Ravish, this is your question. Listen. So hear this carefully. There is only one player who has this international unique record in over 100 ODI matches. So there is a record which we are talking. So that record can be made in 1 or 2 matches also. But over 100 played matches, this record is held by only one. That particular record for India is held by Yashpal Sharma. And he had the record obviously for 42 ODIs. So there is only one player who has done it for 100 matches. For India, that record is for Yashpal Sharma in 42 ODIs. Which unique record are we talking? Think of a record which obviously can be made in 1 or 2 matches also. But I'm talking about people who have played significant number of ODIs. In this case, more than 100.
This record for India is held by Yashpal Sharma. No, only one player in this international unique record of this record for India is held.
So the world record, I'm asking, what is that world record and who is that player? The Indian version of that record is held by Yashpal in 42 ODIs. So Ravish, your attempt.
Only one player in the सवाल थोड़ा difficult है. One player has international unique record over 100 matches.
So Ravish, the cue for this question is obviously I'm only repeating for the sake of it. The record can be made in 1 or 2 ODIs also, but that's not significant enough. So hence I'm talking about a record which is being sustained for over 100 ODIs. Okay.
I mean, being an all-rounder, he was man of the match only for bowling.
No, not on the right track as well. I go back to Papa for 10 points. Any guesses from your side?
You just clarify me the question. I'm sorry.
There is an international record which has been sustained by this player for over 100 matches. There is a
Only
record.
one
एक record बनाया, एक player ने record बनाया है 100 मैच के ऊपर ये चीज करने का. और इंडिया में
Okay.
वो रिकॉर्ड यशपाल शर्मा का.
Okay. Okay. How was the player record is held by India?
Okay.
Okay. Now it's my turn.
Yes, it is your turn.
I think in terms of strike rate,
So they have the best strike rate, you are saying.
Nothing? No?
Okay, I go back to Ravish. That's not the right answer. Ravish, your attempt for again for 10 points. I have not given you a hint as of now.
Okay. So I think my answer will be that
Think of something which is difficult to sustain over a period of 100 ODIs. Think of something on those lines. You can obviously do that in 1 or 2 or 5 ODIs, but doing this for continuously 100 ODIs is something which is a reasonably considerable achievement.
So both their average of batting and the average of wicket taking was the same.
No, and that is not on the right track. Okay, I'll give you a hint and go back to Papa for 5 points. Think of batting first of all. So it's related to batting only, and if you think of batting, you will come to know something which you cannot really do. Most of the people will not be able to do it for 100 ODIs. What thing in batting you want to be able to do it for 100 ODIs? Which is very difficult to do. Yes,
it's my turn.
Yes, 5 points. I gave that hint to you.
The strike rate of both the players were over 100.
No, you have already answered that in the first round. You are not concentrating. You go back to Ravish.
In 100 matches, no one got bowled out.
No. Can you improve that answer? It is related to a dismissal. If you improve that answer, I'll give you 5 points. They have not been.
They were never caught.
No. It's not about type of dismissal, but it's related to getting dismissed. Last attempt to you. I go back to Papa after this, and then I'll close the answer in case you don't.
Type of they remained not out for most of their innings.
No, that's not what I look. Okay, going back to Papa for 5 points, and then we'll close up.
Yeah, they were never run out in their record.
No, that is not the answer. Okay, the correct answer which I'm looking for is that these players have never scored a duck in their career. So Kepler Wessels is the player who is the only player who has played more than 100 ODIs and never scored a duck. For India, this record is held by Yashpal Sharma, who has never scored a duck in 42 ODIs. However, 42 ODIs is not hugely significant number, but 109 is.
But let me tell you, for the benefit of both of you, I saw a test match at Kanpur against Australia in 1979, where this gentleman, Yashpal Sharma, was out twice or zero.
Yes. And he came back with 100 in Delhi.
Yeah, exactly. First in the first match on the first ball, and second after playing few balls, he was also out.
Correct. And then he made a wonderful comeback by scoring 100.
100 and
in
winning
Delhi.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so direct question to Papa now for 10 points. Nobody gets any points on these question. So direct question to Papa for 10 points. Papa, concentrate here. India-Pakistan match will continue. Okay.
They are 4 down. I just seen it's the 4 down.
That's okay, not a problem. We are together here for this.
Okay. Thank
so
you.
Now,
Sorry.
So now you have to tell me that there are 3 highest run getters, and I'm giving you a hint already. All of them are above 3,000 runs in one-day international, and they have never scored a century. So of course, never scored a century is true for many people, but for people who have scored more than 3,000 runs, this is unique to only 3 people. Who are those people, and then what is the unique connection between them? If you tell me one wrong out of these 3, I'll move to Ravish. So think very carefully. Tell an answer which you are sure about. So 3 people I am looking for.
Okay, let me clarify the top 3 highest run getter, you mean to say?
Yes. Because not scoring a century in ODI can be done by many people.
But just
not
listen.
many of them.
Look, just please look at this question. The 3 highest run getter, all above 3,000 runs. Yes. 3 highest run get okay. They are at least they have scored 3,000 runs. You mean to say?
Yes, and there are only 3 such people who have scored more than 3,000 runs without a century.
Okay, in ODI, in an ODI. Okay, without a century in an ODI, in ODIs. Okay, the 3,000 runs in ODIs. Okay, and this unique connection. And the unique connection between them.
Yeah, so once you identify the players, you will obviously get to know the unique connection.
Highest run getter. The top 3 highest run getter. First of all,
Papa, I'll simplify it for you. There are only 3 players in ODIs who have scored more than 3,000 runs without a century.
Okay.
Yes.
And the second part is and the unique connection between them.
So once you get to know those 3 players, aap uska connection bata paoge. So first of all, concentrate on the name of the players who have never scored a century but scored more than 3,000 runs in. So if you guess wrong, I'll have to move to Ravish. Otherwise, you can tell me a name which is part of these 3.
Without a century in ODI and the unique connection between them. I have to tell the name of the players?
Yes, of course.
They are New Zealanders.
No, they are not. So, Ravish, any guesses from your side?
I think they're all Indians, number 1.
No, they are not. I go back to Papa. I need names of players first, rather than they are Indians or Kiwis or Aussies. Papa, going back to you. Still 10 points.
I'm sorry, you give some hint, otherwise not possible for me.
One last attempt for 10 points.
Okay, you can volunteer for a last attempt.
No, I'm sorry. I can't answer. Sorry.
Okay, fine. Ravish, your question, your answer to this?
One is Shane Warne.
the legend Shane Warne has done the thing in test matches. For ODI, he has not scored 3,000. Yeah, had this been a test match question, Shane Warne would have been correct. Okay.
Darren Lehman.
No, not Darren. So, okay, so I'll convert this into a 5-point question and give you a hint. The hint is that all three of them are, and question is for Papa, and for 5 points, all of these three are from Pakistan. Five points for
One is
guessing the
Mudassar
player. Sorry?
One is Mudassar Nazar.
Mudassar Nazar has not scored 3,000 runs, I believe, in ODIs. So, okay, so that's not the answer. I'm not very sure whether he has scored 3,000 or not. If he has done that, obviously he would have scored a century. That's not one. Ravish, your answer, your guess.
Wasim Akram.
Wasim Akram is one of them. I give you 2 points.
Rashid Latif.
No.
Moin
Two
Khan.
places open. Okay, Moin Khan is also one of them. So 2 correct answers to you.
I meant Moin Khan only, not Rashid Latif.
Yeah, I know you meant Moin Khan when you said Rashid Latif. It is from the same clan. Okay, so 2 correct answers have been given. Ravish, one more guess for the. In fact, you have given player number 2 and 3. So there is a top.
Yes, number 1 is Basit Ali.
No, not Basit. So I go back to Papa and give you another hint and convert this into a 2-point question. Minku gets 4 points for Moin Khan and Wasim Akram. The hint is that this guy has scored not only 3,000 runs, this guy has scored 5,000 runs. So he has no century in 5,000 plus runs. That's quite unique. Generally does not happen. So one player left.
Zahir Abbas.
No, not Zahir Abbas at all. Yes, Ravish.
It is Ijaz Ahmed.
No, it is not Ijaz Ahmed. I'll give you one last hint for 1 point. Think of 2007 T20 final. Although the question is from ODIs, Papa's last hint for 1 point. Think of the match between India-Pakistan in 2000 final. T20 finals, which India won eventually.
Yeah.
Ruko, it's Papa's question.
अच्छा sorry.
अच्छा वो कैप्टन इनका जो कैप्टन है.
Yeah, I need the name.
The captain who.
Papa, I need the name.
लंबा नाम है उसका. एक नंबर तो दे दो.
Hey, Papa, that's possible. I only gave the hint of 2007. No, that's not the.
He was also in 2011 team of played.
That will not fetch you any point. So, Ravish, your last attempt on this.
I'm not able to recall his name. So
okay, I'll close it. I'll close the answer. It is Misbah-ul Haq, who has scored 5,000 runs.
यही तो मैं कह रहा था.
हाँ तो ये तो मैं भी कह रहा था.
Misbah-ul Haq, ना? When did you say Misbah-ul Haq?
अरे मैंने कहा जो यही है ये जो 2011 में भी खेला है.
ऐसा नहीं है.
But that obviously that does not count. So
I don't deserve. I was forgetting his name, but I was knowing him.
Wonderful self-realization. I must appreciate that. Okay. So Wasim Akram, of course, and then Moin Khan. And these three are the only players who have scored more than 3,000 runs. And of course, there is no century associated with them. Misbah-ul Haq being the complete surprise package, 5,000 runs, but never could reach a century. Okay. Since Ravish got 4 points in this, Papa's direct question is on the screen right now. Okay. Now listen carefully. Mohammad Ashraful from Bangladesh holds this record in Test cricket. Shahid Afridi from Pakistan holds this record in ODIs. Hazratullah Zazai from Afghanistan holds this record in T20s. So what is this record we are talking?
They have scored maximum 6s in 1 inning.
Oh no, that's not the correct answer. Ravish, goes back to you. There's a common record which all these three people have done in three different formats of cricket.
All their dismissals have been LBW.
No. How is that possible? There will be many other people who have been dismissed LBW. Okay, goes back to Papa for. I will not be able to give you a hint on this because it's a fairly straightforward question. So you can attempt for 5 points again. Think of a
Okay.
record which these people can, these people would have made.
Okay. They scored half centuries in their debut.
No, not at all. So okay, goes back to Ravish.
1 minute.
5 points up for grabs. Think of a record which, Shahid Afridi is known for. Of course, he's known for one other record also. But think of what these three cricketers would have brought to the cricketing world.
They are. They have bowled the fastest over in respective.
Ashraful is a batsman. Afridi can bowl fast, but of course he cannot be faster than Brett Lee or Bumrah.
Fast as in the time.
Archit, Zazai is also a batsman, no?
Of course he is a batsman.
So I think Ravish has utilized his turn.
Yeah, it is your turn now. You can go ahead for 5 points.
I think so. They have scored 50 in their debut and the fastest. One of
that
the
you have already shared the answer of 50, and that is not the right. Okay, goes back to Ravish for 3 points. Acha, what is Shahid Afridi known for? Tell me, Ravish. Yeah,
They have scored. They respectively they have scored their fastest hundreds and have had that record for maximum time.
No, because Shahid Afridi's record was broken by Corey Anderson. Corey Anderson's record was broken by AB de Villiers. So fastest 100 does not stand in that record anymore. Okay. Last attempt to Papa for 3 points. 100 was a good guess.
I can only say that they have been rejected. They scored maximum sixes in the.
Okay, that's okay. Match. You have already stated that answer, and that is not right. Okay. That's okay.
You can't think more
so
than
no
that.
problem. Okay, thank you. So they are the players to score the youngest century in the respective form. So Mohammad Ashraful broke a very old record of probably Mushtaq Mohammad when he scored a century at the youngest age, and then probably Sachin Tendulkar also had this record for India, and then it was broken by Mohammad Ashraful. So Mohammad Ashraful is the youngest player to score a Test century. Shahid Afridi, of course, that famous fastest century of 37 balls at that time against Sri Lanka. He was 16 years, 217 days at that time. And Hazratullah Zazai is also the youngest player to score a century in T20. Okay. Nobody got any points for that. I'll go back to Papa for a direct 10 again. So this is your direct question. Okay. Now we go back to tennis. Now in 1988, we are talking about a Grand Slam. Okay. We're not talking about any ATP tourney or something. We're talking about a Grand Slam. In 1988, the court जो होता है उसमें जो खेलने वाला, whether it is a clay or a grass court or a hard court changed from X to Y. And till 1988, it was played on X court. Then it was shifted to Y court. However, there was only one player who has won it on both X court and Y court in the same Grand Slam. So, for example, there is a Grand Slam, say Indian Open, hypothetically. Earlier, it used to be played on X court, and now it is being played on Y court. And there is one player who has won on both the formats.
Court can be grass or clay or
court in the sense grass, clay, or hard court, or think on those lines. In fact, I'll tell you only three options are.
No, but how can in a tournament you can have different courts?
No. Till 1987, the tournament, obviously the tournament is played once in a year. So till 1987, this Grand Slam was played in one such type of court, and after 1988, the court format changed.
Acha. Okay, got it.
And I'm talking about a Grand Slam, not just another national tournament. Yeah,
It's
Papa,
it's my question or
Papa, it is your question. You are not before 1988 also and after 19. So I think it will be a better line of thought if you can guess the tournament first in your mind, that what tournament actually changed, and then the players around that era, 1988, 1989, those late 80s.
It was Australian Open where the court changed.
5 points to you for guessing the tournament correct. I'll again give you another chance. So Australian Open till 1987 was played on grass court, and then after 1988 it got changed to hard court. So 5 points are already there. Now remaining 5 for the player.
For the player.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who has won it in both the eras. A pretty famous player, you will be able to recall.
It is Boris Becker.
No, not Boris Becker. Go back to Ravish for 5 points. The tournament is clear. It's of course the Australian Open. You have to guess the player. Late 80s. Quite a legendary player.
Ivan Lendl.
No, not Ivan Lendl, but a good guess. But anyways, we go back to Papa for 5 points.
Stefan Edberg.
Very good guess. Stefan Edberg was definitely around, but that's not the correct answer. You can save the delight. That's a good guess, I said. So very good guess. Goes back to Ravish for the final attempt, and I'll close it after this.
1988.
In fact, if I remember correctly, Stefan Edberg won in the very next year after this gentleman won, which is the answer. Who is the answer?
Pat Cash.
Another very good attempt. Pat Cash was also around that time, and especially in Australian Opens, he was really effective. Anyways, the correct answer to this is, of course, Matt Wilander. He did that in good, Papa, but yeah, it was not recorded on call, so I can't take it. Papa, the attempts were over, but anyways, I give you 5 points for getting Australian Open correctly. So grass court he won in 1984, and 1988 he obviously won on the hard court. So quite a graceful, aggressive power player, Matt Wilander at that time. Yeah. Of course, even Edberg, Pat Cash were also there at that time.
I think he was a very good. He used to serve very hard.
Correct. Okay. Goes back to Ravish for 10 points. 10 points to Ravish. 10-pointer question to Ravish. There is a famous incident which we are talking here. So of course you can guess that this is of course John McEnroe. He made a statement to the umpire after this. Now he was obviously known for his antics on ground, on court, on these calls, on the close calls of out or in or whatever. Now in this particular match, he made a very complete quotation, and that became a quotation for his life. Later, he has also written a book with that quotation. So it's a phrase which he spoke to the chair umpire at that time. So you have to guess, and some parts of that also I'll give you points. You may not be able to guess the exact line, but if you even if you are closer to it. So think of a situation. There has been a call made by the lineman. And of course, McEnroe, in his favorite typical style, has raised a rebuttal to that. How would he have done that? Fairly well-known moment.
Yeah, I know. I know this book he had written.
Yes,
I'm
the title of the
relating
book is
to.
also on the same lines.
You cannot be serious.
Absolutely wonderful answer. So what he said to the umpire was that you can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious. That ball was on the line. The chalk
Yeah.
flew up.
Well
मतलब
done.
जो जिस chalk
Extremely
से
well
वो
done.
line लगाते हैं, वो chalk flew up. It was clearly in.
Yeah.
How can possibly you call that out? How many times are you gonna miss? So he also has a book now. You can't be serious.
Yeah.
And today, if in a recent interview, he also said that okay, that was 40 years ago. Let's forget that, and you can't be serious about that. So quite a legendary man. Of course, we know for his rivalry against Bod, who is already there in the early 80s. So wonderful, 10 full points to you. You can't be
Extremely well
serious.
done. It is all
Okay.
wonderful. Very
Okay.
well done.
Good. Goes back to Papa for direct question of 10 points. Okay. अब एक चीज है, एक सिस्टम है जो इस प्रोसेस से ओरिजिनेट हुआ. Now understand the process. After every score, player used to move by X. ठीक है, एक पॉइंट होता था तो X आगे जाता था एक प्लेयर, दूसरा पॉइंट होता था फिर और X आगे जाता था प्लेयर, जब तीसरा पॉइंट होता था फिर और X आगे जाता. So after doing all this, you can come back to a concept which was originated at that time. Of course, we are talking lawn tennis here. We are not talking cricket. We're talking lawn tennis here. What originated from this concept of player getting a point and moving ahead, and then another getting a point again, and another movement ahead, and then a third movement. What system of thing originated here?
After every score, the player moved X. However, at the third score, the player could not move X.
Hence X was modified. तो पहले वो X गया आगे, फिर दूसरा पॉइंट लिया, फिर X गया आगे, जब तीसरा पॉइंट लेने लगा तो X आगे नहीं जा पाया, hence वो X को ही चेंज कर दिया in the actual concept which is running today also. So आज भी ये concept जो है ये ऐसे ही चलता है टेनिस में.
No, I think it is term of your feet, which move forward when the second serve is going to be delivered. The player
Good,
could not move.
good guess, but not on the right line. So Ravish goes back to you for 10 points if you can guess, and then we can give you a hint to Papa.
एक मिनट रुकना, ऋचा को बुलाना है. ये what originated below after every score. I think if it is score and it seems to be related to some ranking, it seems that ATP ranking originated after this.
No. थोड़ा सा दूर चले गए आप. I'll go back to Papa and give a hint for 5 points. Think of a system. Think of a point. Points मिल रहा है इसमें. So think of that.
Okay.
After every point, after every score, you used to move X. तो ऐसा सोचो, मतलब उस दिशा में सोचें तो आ जाएगा. It's pretty workable. Yes, Papa. Any guesses?
Third score, the player could not move X as X was modified. I think it relates to what you call the service which is on let service.
Another good guess, but that's not the answer. Ravish, last attempt.
I think deuce got originated after this.
No, I can give you 2 points for it only, because basically we are talking about the point system. I'll tell you what happened. In the olden times in France, when the lawn tennis game was used to be played, the half court, the one-sided player court was 45 feet. Now, once a player used to get 1 point, he used to move 15 feet ahead. Then second point, another 15 feet, which makes it 30 feet. Now, after 15-30, you would be wondering why 40 comes in lawn tennis, why not 45? Because if a player reaches another 15 feet, he touches the net. So there is no point of playing. So that 45 were reduced to 40. And
Very
then
good.
obviously the after 40 the game finishes. This is one of such legend. Other legend is also related to a clock, that everything has to finish within 60 minutes. Hence the 45 was not originated, because agar 45 hota to 60 bhi hota. But that's not possible. You have to finish inside 60. So ये दो तीन legend है टेनिस का scoring जो है वो कैसे शुरू हुआ. Why 50, 30 and then 45, not 45 and 40. Okay. Minko, Papa got Ravish got some 2 points out of it for hinting at some dues or something. So Papa, your 10-pointer question direct to you. There is a very famous incident which I am showing here, and pretty well known famous incident. Just see the players carefully. So see the setup, see the arrangement, and guess what incident are we talking. And it's a very famous incident you are completely aware of. In fact, you were the one who told me about it.
Yeah. It relates to the World Cup match played. Probably it is 87 World Cup.
Okay, on the right track.
And Walsh probably was a bowler, and Abdul Qadir was the non-striker. He was asked to go back because he without bowling, without bowling action, he used to go forward to take a run. And
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I'll give you full 10 points for that. The complete incident is that in this last over, so I'll tell you the complete incident. 1987 league match between West Indies and Pakistan. West Indies had already lost to England, and West Indies needed to win this match against Pakistan. They needed 14 of the last over, and Abdul Qadir, who is not really on the non-striker end, he's on the striker end, hit a 6 and then got some singles, etc. And on the last ball, Pakistan needed 2 runs. Now Walsh would have easily mankaded Salim Jafar, who is the non-striker, and Pakistan was left with only 1 wicket. Had he mankaded him, West Indies would have won that match. But eventually, because out of sportsmanship, he gave Salim Jafar a warning, and he did not mankade. Eventually, Abdul Qadir scored 2 runs of the last ball, and Pakistan won the match, and West Indies were eliminated. So he was very much appreciated for his sportsmanship. However, West Indies lost that match, and they were out of the World Cup. So it's a very, very famous incident. Yeah.
They were out. They were out of the tournament also with this.
Yes, of course. They lost the first 2 league. Okay. So this is that Walsh incident of. So we enter now into the last phase.
I got 10 points.
Yes, you
got 10
points. Yes, of course you got. Okay, great, Ravish. Your direct question. Last few questions. Let's close this up on the higher note. Okay, and writing you 4. I'm writing in front of you 4 players. Dan van Bunga from Netherlands, Stuart Broad from England, of course, Akila Dhananjay from Sri Lanka, and Gaudi Toka from Papua New Guinea, PNG. These are the 4 players who hold the only record which this currently exists. These 4 are the only players associated. And question is for Ravish, 10 full points on offer. Think carefully, see the names. You will definitely be able to derive the answer.
Actually,
it's a fairly simple one. Papa, it is Ravish's chance.
They all have been hit for 6 sixes in 1 over.
Absolutely right. They are the only bowlers to have been hit for 6 sixes. So Dan van Bunga got smashed by Herschel Gibbs in 2007 World Cup. Stuart Broad, of course, we know, our darling Yuvraj Singh. And Akila Dhananjay, Pollard did it recently. In fact, in that match, Akila Dhananjay already had done a hat-trick. And then he was hit for 6 sixes. So quite an eventful day for him. And recently, Jaskaran Malhotra from US in an international match did it against Gaudi Toka. So those are the 4 bowlers. Full 10 points to Ravish. We go back to Papa for a 10-point question. Okay. Now I'm talking about the longest game in lawn tennis. It was played at Wimbledon in 2010. It was the longest game. It spanned over 3 days, of course, because of bad light and etc. 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 It spanned over 11 hours. It was played between John Isner and John Isner of US and Nicolas Mahou of France. So John Isner eventually won that match. So the scoreline read as 6-4, 3-6, 6-7, 7-6. Last game, which of course needs to be a very lengthy one to take it into 3 days. You have to identify the score of the last set. And this happens to be the longest game of lawn tennis ever.
या मनु तो मुश्किल सवाल पाता मैं तो प्लेयर ने ना ही नहीं सुने इस बार हाँ चाहे
It is 2010 and we are fairly in a good viewership of lawn tennis in the last 30 years. You will be able to guess.
30-30
Okay, good guess. Ravish, there will be no hint to it, so I'll close the answer after your answer. Yes, your attempt.
36-34.
No, I'll give, so no points to everybody. It is 70-68. So the match went up to 70-68. It match the ended at some 11 hours, and after 2 interruptions of bad light, it switched to third day also. So the players were really downtrodden.
Which stage of the tournament this match was?
It was probably a 4th round match. I'm not very sure. So it was a 4th round.
It was 4th round match, you mean?
Yeah, I'm not very sure. I'll have to check. Anyway, so 70-68 happens to be the longest match in terms of minutes played, in terms of games played, in either sets. Okay, nobody got that. So we go back to Papa again for a direct 10-point question. There are only 3 umpires. I'm talking about umpires here. 3 umpires in Test cricket who have played over 100 Test matches. Played in the sense not as a cricketer, but as an umpire, have represented in 100 Test matches. If you get one wrong, I'll shift to Ravish. So think carefully and then give the answer.
If I guess one is okay?
I'll give you points, but if it is correct, only then. Otherwise, it is incorrect, I'll go to Ravish.
One is Shepherd.
Okay, it is incorrect. Ravish, your answer.
100 tests. Dicky Bird.
No, incorrect. I go back to Papa.
Oh,
okay. Ravish, your guesses for 3 umpires. There are still 9 points to be taken.
Steve Buckner.
Okay, but that's 2-pointer to you. Who are the other 2 names?
This Pakistani umpire.
You have to tell me the name.
As a Mahroof name. Mahroof.
Probably you're talking about Asad Rauf.
Asad Rauf.
He's not.
Yes.
No, he's not there.
Not Asad Rauf, but common. I think he's one of the best umpire.
Okay. Any guesses? There are
one
2
of them
names
is
left.
Venkat Ravagan.
No. Okay, it's an open question now. Anybody can guess. You guess right, and I give you 3 points. No chances on this. Anybody can guess. You are right. It is a Pakistani umpire, and who is currently also officiating.
New Zealand wala, ungli wala.
No, not Billy Bowden. No, not
Robinson.
Not Ian Robinson. No. Think of a current contemporary Pakistani umpire, one of the best. One Pakistani in this list, one West Indian who we already named as Steve Buckner, and one South African in this list. So the missing pieces are Pakistani and the South African. Think of a South African umpire who's been around for long. Okay, I'll give you the right answer then. So the Pakistani umpire we are talking about is Aleem Dar, and the South African umpire we are talking about is
Rudy
Rudy Kotsar.
Kotsar.
So these are the only three umpires who have officiated in the more than 100 test matches. Okay, last and final question of the day, and a very special question goes to Papa as a direct question. Okay, a famous incident. A famous incident of you can see all the 11 Australian players celebrating, and I don't need to tell the occasion here. That's not the occasion. That's not the question either. So everybody knows the occasion here. It's a heartbreak for South Africa. You have to tell me who was the man of the match in this historic semi-final of Australia versus South Africa.
It was Shane Warne.
You are absolutely right. It is our dear, our lovely, our most respected bowler, Shane Warne.
This was a very easy question, yaar. ये तो होना ही था. ये तो this is.
That is why it
ये
was
क्या
kept in
question
the
है
end.
यार?
That is why it was kept in the end.
What do you mean? There has to be Shane Warne because of the current thing.
So we love Shane Warne. That's why we had this question.
मतलब ये क्या है यार?
You started you were given the start. I was given.
He has been given hints. He has been passed on ridiculously easy questions, and this is not done.
Okay, let me tell you the points first. Let me tell you the points. So Papa has 5, 6, 7, and then 15, 32, 42, and 6. Papa has 48. So Papa has 48 points. Ravish has 3 and 6, 9. 15, 19, 29, 39, and 4. Oh, you're falling short by 5 runs again, Ravish. So the lead of 2.5 now extends to 7.5. So Papa has got the lead to 7.5. We will definitely do much about it in the next meeting. Till then, I think we can now discuss the same offline.